I'm Jeff McClure, the Director of Operations for Utepils Brewing here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The universal problem in the brewing process is what do we do with the spent grain? We as a brewery and most breweries are only using 20 or 25% of the grain that's still there for the brewing process. With the spent grain, there's a lot of really happy farmers that are getting, product from breweries, but in a state like Minnesota where there's upwards of 150 breweries, there's far more spent grain that's being produced than would ever be used in a local hog farm. So we dump a bunch of it into a dumpster.
I looked at it and went, how can I be a solution in there? And I knew it would take technology. So NETZRO is an integrated solution to the idea of unused food.
This heater that's used for drying, it's an infrared heat source that's very similar to the energy you'd receive from the sun. What a machine like this can do is dry that material. Nothing gets wasted.
When we do these runs, we go from that about 80% water content grain, and once we dry it, we get it around 10% moisture. And then we have that, and it's able to be stored for essentially an infinite amount of time. And we take some of that grain, and we've actually milled some of it. Once you have it milled into a flour, it becomes much more versatile. It creates a dense flour that's really, really good for things such as waffles and scones and pretzels. But the wonderful part about the flour is that in the brewing process, they've stripped the sugars from it, but they haven't taken any of the protein, fiber, or fat content. So when you mill it into a flour, essentially what you have is higher in fiber, higher in protein, but lower in sugar. So you basically have a lower carb flour that allows you to make dense foods, but they don't actually have the dense nutritional composition that those foods would normally have.
It's exciting for me because I like people who are out challenging themselves, doing things to create a new product or make a better product. And this is a huge potential market that hasn't been worked on really all that hard for the last 30 years when small batch brewing has really started to kick in. So in a lot of ways, we're 30 years behind. So it's fun to partner with someone who's so interested in challenging the market.